Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing look at Hearts of Iron 3's Black Ice 10.41. Well, Malta has fallen. We have taken Malta. The main invasion fleet is still heading back there. There's going to be a huge exodus now of a lot of air units. Most of the air units, the bombers and fighters are going sort of here. Moving the few that are going to be night fighters stationed at the center. So that's happening. I think these guys may be set up here for an invasion of Gibraltar next. We will see. I'm not sure. For them, I have made a sensible setup now here in guarding the west. It's not what I would do against a player, so those may be watching sometime later, but it's what I'm doing against the AI here. Garrisons on all the ports, just basic, any real determined player invasion would take these ports, so I don't know if that'd be enough. But we do have 2 armored cores of ersatz armor. Now when you click here, you can see that these are like the French, and so they do get some upgrades, but some of the other stuff will not upgrade. Armor plate thickness and whatnot. I think it's mostly things like the training models and whatnot might get upgrades. So these are not as good as because these are like foreign made armor. They're specified as well. This one is not. So I guess this one is getting full upgrades with its heavy armor there. Where you can see some of these others there, that should be like a heavy armor, I guess. I don't know. But so they're not as good as proper German armor units, as my understanding goes with these guys. So we have 2 cores, one here of armor units and one over here as a reaction force. Again, we can see what are these here. Well, this is, I guess, upgrading. I don't know how these are all categorized, but those are the captured armor units in the west. So yeah, 6 panzer divisions of some type would be useful for invading the Soviet Union. I'm just not going to send them there for right now, but we are getting more and more ready for the attack in the east. These guys are going somewhere, don't know where, but what I think I'm going to do is move the airborne units from here over to here. So we'll see about that. We do have these guys operating down here as well. So let's continue this. We're in March 15th, obviously. What does Turkey want? Energy, certainly. Oh, okay, we just lost basically everything. So you come back to here, you base back to there. Are you still in battle or are you buried? Oh, you're retreating, that's why. Okay. Now that just reconfirms my those are going out long range. Those guys are rolling out there. We can see here those long range subs heading back to there. The covert ships are doing the best. Now I just launched 2 more submarines here that are organizing up, and submarines that had been off Malta are coming to Alexandria, and we're going to base them out of here. And these guys over here, what are they doing? They're doing good. Trying to sink enemy vessels where they don't have convoy escorts of any significant amount. The old hit them where they ain't idea. All right, mass events have advanced. More manpower, nice. Lower some ICs. Stop at that. For now, we could use the manpower. Extra wide tank tracks, advance, and that. Okay, good. That frees up a bunch of availability to research. Is it extra wide tracks that are? Yep. Okay, I think we need to do that next. Special purpose armor, so artillery brigade. Okay. Yeah, we want to get our light armor upgraded. Okay, well, let's keep pushing along here. Spain would like energy, certainly. Persian Gulf effect has happened to us. Research efficiency and supply throughput everywhere. This is everywhere. And so this is because we obviously control here, and Axis powers control the parts of the Persian Gulf. Very nice. I like the research efficiency, supply throughput, particularly the supply throughput. Okay, close air support prototypes. Oh, yeah, self-propelled artillery. We have some of that, so I guess so. Propulsion advance. I think that is for torpedoes. Yes. Don't want to keep researching that for the rest of this playthrough. Just reduces our range, and I don't want to reduce our range, and I don't know if our morale is armed very much at the time. Still don't know why it reduces range. If there's somebody out there that could tell me why air conditioning, which I presume is electrically driven, which because it's a heat exchange, I guess you could dump it into the water, and run it under the and do water cooling for it instead of dumping an external thing. So I guess you could run it under the water, but even then, I don't see 200 kilometers. I just don't see that as a reduced range that much, because yeah, you're running it. Either you're charging up the batteries, you're running the electricity while you're running the diesel engines, and yes, they do worry about cruising speed, because one, the faster you go through anything, including air, but the faster you go through water, the more resistance there is. But I don't know that cranking it up enough to, electrically, because you're generating power to, one, run all the electrical systems currently, and two, to charge up the batteries, that sometimes, especially when submarines were sort of in their cruising zone, they just come up and at night, and just sort of cruise around a bit. Or in the daytime, well, at night, because they're just in their area, they normally be only up at night and then stay down in the day if they're like transiting the Atlantic Oceans or transiting the Pacific Ocean, way out in the middle of nowhere during the day, running their air conditioning. Yeah, I just don't see it. And then, yeah, I don't know. And once you're under the water, I think much of the time, not all the time, but much of the time, you're in water that's going to keep it cool enough anyways. At least that's maybe if you tell me, and I don't mean to challenge anybody, I mean just simply if you know, you go, oh, it was hot under the water too, and I just don't know that. But right. Okay, I think we just want to do some more of these to get these things going. Small air search radar. I think that is here. Yes, let's move this to there. Hey, I'm very willing to learn. In fact, I want to learn. Okay, well, Central Atlantic, they got our long range subs. Yeah, this is getting a bit dangerous. Now we do have, I think, I don't know if we're ready to go. Okay, he is. Let's put him, I think it's Hendrik Command West. You get to come up to here. Move. Right, okay. You're still heading in there. You're going back here with troops. I think we have supplies going to you. Yes. Good, good, good. That way they will keep reinforcing and keeping good morale. Guidance advance. Okay, allows research of basic torpedoes and submarine torpedoes. Okay. Good. Okay, that would be here, and we're stopping that. Basic torpedoes and submarine torpedoes. Okay, want to do both. I think we'll do that one first. Okay, so most of our Atlantic submarines have been decimated. Now, how are we doing here? Okay, right, and I think that's probably strong enough. We're going to, well, rebase you over to here. I want to see if there was that unit that mangled these guys still floating around in the Red Sea somehow. Whatever it was, I'm not sure. I don't think it can be air base. I think, I don't know. You don't even have Khartoum, yes. Basing advance, very good. Steel casting capabilities, very nice. Small arms. Allows research of assault rifles now. Okay. Now, we're going to do this, obviously. Now it's time enough. Assault rifles is a fine term, excuse me for this, but and assault rifles to a point are a game changer, but I don't know if it shouldn't just be semi-auto rifles. I know that sort of brings in, well, the Soviet SVTs were around in large numbers. Yes, they were. But really, obviously, you have the M1 Garands. The only two things that I would categorize as assault rifles One is the Sturmgewehr, the storming rifle, the storm position. The other one I would do is the M1 carbine. I know the M2 carbine as a thing is not around until the Korean War. I don't know if just in case, the M1 carbine, if you all know it, is a 30 caliber. I mean, everything is 30 caliber, but it's 30 caliber carbine. It's sort of like an extended pistol bullet kind of thing. Both in the shape of the bullet going out there is more or less a 30 caliber pistol bullet, but it has an extended straight case back on it instead of a bigger case that is very long and gets wider in the back like you would for an M1 Garand 30-06 thing. So it's more than a pistol cartridge. It's much more than 9mm coming out there in velocity. But it's not a proper what they would think at the term rifle caliber. And I only really know of 15 round magazines at the time. I think that's it. And they were almost, and a lot of them were treated as disposable magazines. They were cranking them out a lot. And a lot of the soldiers, because a lot of people complain about unreliability of magazines. And I know I have magazines that have rusted through in places that I still have and use and whatnot, in mostly good shape. I mean, and so some of the veterans, oh yeah, we filled them up, refilled them 3 or 4 times, but then just ammo was coming in magazines that they would go through them, so they weren't necessarily built with long life springs and whatnot inside of them. So that really wasn't the problem that post-war people trying to use 50, 60-year-old magazines would find. So it wasn't as big a problem back then. And so, yeah, it's just 15 rounds. And yes, it's semi-auto only, or sort of the assault rifles. The idea is select fire. The M2 is the same gun with just a selector switch to go full auto. And they started to have 30-round magazines in them. So, but just that it's an intermediate lightweight gun cartridge. It's just barely there into the assault rifle role. But yeah, so I don't know, but because I think more, and I remember, just through messaging, talking to someone at Paradox, there isn't much of a difference between a semi-auto and bolt-action rifle. You don't know what you're talking about. I mean, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I just stopped arguing with him. I have a really nice meme thing that I put up once in a while. Sometimes people think, I think I'm pointing it at them and they think I'm sort of using it to agree with them. But it's sort of like an Indian guru kind of guy. I don't know if this was the original thing or just somebody put on it. And another sort of like an Indian reporter or somebody, and the guru says, the key to happiness is not arguing with idiots. And the other guy, I disagree. And the Indian guru guy goes, you're right. I mean, yeah, you're an idiot. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to be happy. And the other guy thinks that, he's agreeing with me that not arguing with idiots is the key to happiness. Or disagreeing. No, he's agreeing with you. Yeah, you're an idiot. So yeah, I just gave up talking to him because I remember many years ago now, but one day out in the desert shooting with some of my friends, one guy had an FR8 that was one of the last Mausers really sort of made for military service. It was a Spanish Mauser made well after World War II, and it has post-war sights and whatnot on it, a bolt action, and it was designed for 308. Now Spain for a while, and I don't think they still do, but for a while actually used an underpowered 308 partially to make, I think, their set-me rifles. They're what the pre-HK or G3 rifle, the HK what is it, HK-21 or whatever. The German rifle that the German scientists got out to Spain and developed, set me running in there, so they were a little less powerful, kicked a lot less. But I remember and it's a fairly lightweight, shortened Mauser bolt action that Spain made a bunch of. I think I couldn't swear that they were all made that way. Some of them may have started life as other Mausers made before, and Spanish factories convert things. The armies just keep and do that, but I don't know. But the FR8, which was designed and chambered in 308, shooting that and shooting my FAL. Well, my buddy had put on sort of a rubber sleeve that goes over the butt, and that had a sort of hollow spaces in rubber on the the back to make his gun more shootable, and not tire your shoulder out. Where actually technically mine would be an L1A1 that I was, or was it my Israeli FAL? I forget what I was shooting. One of my FALs. And neither of those have any sort of shock absorbing element, especially if it was the Israeli FAL, which literally is wooden stock with a metal butt plate on it. No recoil absorption in there. And I could shoot my FAL all day long comfortably. And after a few shots, I handed his gun back to him and go, yeah, cool FR8, great, with the recoil reduction pad. Yeah. Now, of course, and the idea is that the recoil reduction is in the semi-automatic mechanism of the gun as it's operating. That absorbs a lot of the recoil, and so having that there is really good. And so shooting and so I was shooting these on the same day at the same time, shooting the same ammunition out of the same guns, or different guns. I mean, but same ammunition, same caliber. So it wasn't like comparing a 8mm German Mauser with a semi-auto 308 rifle. I don't remember the weight differences between the two guns overall, but somebody who's just fired guns a few times and maybe ran around with in military service with a more modern military guns, what they don't know is, and because I've done a fair amount of shooting with a lot of variety of firearms, is the fatigue on the shooter. The difference that the fatigue of someone shooting an M1 Garand and the fatigue of shooting a Mauser, or the fatigue of shooting the Kar 98K, the Carabina 98 Kurz short, and then shooting one of the German Gewehr 43s or whatever, the semi-auto German rifles that shoot the same bullet. The fatigue on the shooter and his accuracy and his performance over time will be, during a day, will be significantly less with that semi-auto rifle. And so it isn't necessarily about, and because then they were arguing from sort of the strategic level and how much it doesn't really matter at the strategic level of a game, blah, 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 blah. And I was arguing, no, it's a massive impact. Semi-auto rifles are a massive impact on things. They're going blah, blah. No, it isn't. It will be if it's spread out wide. Now, if it's just 5% of our troops have been given these semi-auto rifles, and you're looking at the firepower of a battalion or a division, it's infantry rifle firepower. Yeah, no, that ain't much of a difference. Quite honestly, they're right. But if it's the idea of, 50, 60% or more of the guys who pull triggers change from a a semi-auto to or from a bolt action to a semi-auto, it will be a big, do we want to know? We'll give this guy core command here. And let's see, I don't know, we'll do the 40th. I don't know if there really is a 40th right now. There we go. Okay, so we have him here as an armored commander. He is going to be under, what is that? The Third Army has sort of become our Panzer Army North, as it were. And I think Manfinto is going to get the Leib's little battle commander. But these divisions here are going to go into... you can do 40. I don't recall how it's changed or not changed. 40 can be obviously 10 or 4 X's, or it can be, what is it, an X and then an L, because L is 50, so, but it's 10. It's 10 from 50 is my understanding, is how that would read appropriately. Okay, well, they might get attached to the armored core. Some of the, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. The cavalry division. Right, okay, so he has 4 divisions and he has 5 divisions. They're ready to go. Right, well, we're not going to do too much playing around with that. I'm going to try to do most of that. And what I think I want to try to do here is... okay. You go there because we'll put you on the... Okay. Sail down to there. Romania, yes. What would you like? Supplies, certainly. SS motorized HQs. Yeah, we'll let that continue. That will give us this. Yes. What was, where, what did that actually give us? Okay, so it looks like just 2 motorized HQs, which are cool, but don't really need them too much right now. Oh, just to let you all know, I finished would not be the right term, but I've added, I think all I'm planning on adding, that doesn't mean I won't find somebody new, all of the science ministers for Third Reich events, some very interesting ones. The only thing is I'm going to look to see if some of those should also add to a file that it is sort of really clever maybe, but really complicated, to the file that adds science buildings or something. I don't know if any of them should have it. I just don't know the situation on that. You know, some of the ministers here deploy buildings. I so want to get back to threat impact, ruling party support, national manpower modifier. Oh, okay. Well, daily descent, ruling party support. Okay, we're going to, well, okay, we're doing fair in that, but I just see that there. We want to get more national manpower, so yes, we will change over to him. Borman, silent workhorse, tote. Crude oil resources, which is appropriate. Money down, supplies down. See, if you put, was it Walter? Yeah, I think if you put Walter Darrier, I haven't done it, but maybe should be a massive downturn in manpower, and that would be because in this game, agriculture improvements reduce or increase your manpower for the front line. Well, Walter, okay, the first significant party, I'm not talking about some little, like, hey, 3,000 people belong to some little party, some political party. But the first political party of any sort of note that was significantly green was the National Socialists, the Nazis. They were very much a green party. And Walter Darrier, however you pronounce his name, Darrier, Walter Darrier, I don't know, sorry. I don't hear it enough, I just read it. He really, really believed in the blood and soil movement, but literally soil. And he very much disliked monoculture, meaning like, hey, that field grows wheat, and yes, that field keeps growing wheat and growing wheat. He wants to do all this sort of organic gardening, and he set up some organic gardening stuff outside of some camps where people concentrate about things and stuff like that. So if he was in charge, he wanted to, yeah, you get the picture. Not efficient agriculture. Whether, in other things, completely loony, but okay, Albert Speer. Production, construction to delay practicals. I disagree with this. I disagree with national manpower. Why would Albert Speer do national manpower team? I disagree with that entirely. And so obviously until, well, I don't know if we may do somebody else, then, well, okay, because it's just administrative genius. That's what they've done. Okay, yeah, so what? TRE in here. Himmler, Prince of Terror. Right. Frick. Leadership science. Supposedly, maybe we would have got some more buildings if we would have done some other leadership modifier, practical decay. Like I say, I've gone in. I've changed Willie Messerschmitt. I've left light armor, light aircraft practical decay down. Because this is a unique one, obviously. Because it's one of two that they did is unique. They normally don't do unique. But they did minister type Willie Messerschmitt. But I removed jet engine practical decay because it was this guy, Ernst Haenkel, that Hans Olin was the I forget his sort of mechanic, the guy who was really good at the practical side of putting together the jet engines. He's the one that funds early on the jets and keeps, like, in 1939 or 38, hey, Luftwaffe. Because I remember reading back in Albert Speer's Inside the Third Reich, his memoirs. We talk about the good and the bad of memoirs, but I think it was 1939. This is before he is only Hitler's architect at this time. Hitler's buddy, Hitler's architect. And, he's doing, some important buildings like the Reichschancellery or whatever, but he isn't anywhere near being the idea of being armaments minister or there. But he's on a VIP tour of, I forget what, but could be Heinkel, but he's on, and they're shown a jet engine in operation. And it's just, inside of a building, on a mounting on ground, not on an airplane. It's just showing the engine, in operation. And he was really impressed. And they were all really impressed. But since this war is going to be over, and I think this is after the war with Poland starts by this, or they were planning the war with Poland or something, it was very close to that. It's going to be over so quick that, we're not going to pursue, the government decides not, the Luftwaffe mainly, decides not to pursue this jet technology because, it's really cool and it's the future, but this war is going to be over faster than that. We just need more of the good working engines now. And so, we want to we'll just wait and do that after the war. Obviously, that's not what happens. But Heinkel, and I read up looking at some of these ministers just in more detail, but Heinkel, yes, like I already knew, is putting an interest in the jet engine, getting it functional, getting it off a test bed. The first ones are literally just strut mounted on the bottom of piston, and we only have, at least I've only been able to see line drawings of what this is, and it's clearly because you see the exhaust pipes there, but you don't see them specifying the propeller on the aircraft. So I don't know if, I would presume the engine's still there if the exhaust pipes are there. So I presume it has a propeller on it, but it's designed, I think that's as a backup, like, hey, if the jet engine stops, we can, turn on the propeller engine or something. I don't know. Some of those things you have to crank to get going. I don't know. But, or whether that was just somebody drawing it from memory and not doing it right. But that, and later on, he's actually building some planes in prototype stages. And the Luftwaffe is just like, no thanks. And so he's really pushing jets, where Messerschmitt really only comes along, and he's a brilliant guy and all that. I'm not denying that. But he comes along really only once it's more of a thing, and then adopts an aircraft around the Jumo engines that already exist. It's really good. Where Heinkel a year before has a fully operational jet fighter ready to go, but the Luftwaffe goes, no. It's in fully practical prototype, not like a complete production line, obviously, but So Heinkel gets jet engine practical decay minus. Don't get rid of the money one, and medium bomber thing, and I think remove or lower his medium bomber. I think I did. I don't remember, but I know I got rid of that. So you'll have choices to make that are interesting. Oh, and his special is Heinkel, and I forget what the second word is of his airplane company, whatever it was. So he gets, a unique minister type that correctly shows off what he is. So, okay, head of intelligence. Schacht should be gone by now. Leadership down, counterintelligence, land intelligence, dismal, enigma. As you remember, those guys are all. What is it? Hugo and Otto Strasser. I keep getting the two mixed up, and I even was making some images, and before I put them in, realized I was doing the wrong brother. By this time, 42, Strasser has fled Spain, I think, or Portugal, because he had been there, and I think is the guest of the Canadian government by this time. The other brother was killed in the Night of the Long Knives. He stays around for a while, but eventually flees. So Strasser should not be here. Industrial specialist. Money down. Oh, we've eaten into our money a lot. Oh, God. I may just cheat in huge amounts of money. I just totally disagree with the whole, gotta give money for crap. Or, different stuff. Internal stuff, as you know, if you've been watching, I presume. So I may just cheat in money. I know it's not the game that they do, but okay. Head of why should industrial specialist be head of intelligence? Because we should have. And he's not a dismal. No, this is so effed up. I shouldn't even look at these. Oh well, we already have this guy running here, and that's why he's part of the. Okay. Okay. Well, let's look at military chiefs of staff. Okay, we have school maneuver, combat speed, reorganization, mobile unit. The reinforcement chance, soft attack. Well, organization regain 10%, and that's 10%, so I don't see how that helps us any going to there. No, good. So really the only is School of Maneuver or School of Fire Support, which is really sort of more infantry, looks like. We'll keep that. Okay, that's sort of Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, Navy and Air. This is particularly the Army. Of course, we don't want I have him as power mad, whatever, and he's a real F up to have in charge. Eric Ludendorff is long since dead. Armored Supply Doctrine, which was the same element there. Title is a yes man and should have really poor stats. Now, okay, these are all three the same. Brauhitch, Hopner, Keitel. Supply consumption, but we get armor practical decay. But national manpower, 10%. We're low. Land organization. Okay, I was going to move him over to Keitel because it's the same as this, but having a natural socialist in Keitel, I think falls within that category, even if just barely, but he's a Hitler yes man. So yeah, I don't know how much of an ideologue he bought into all of it, but he was definitely a Hitler yes man. That would help our, party organization be a more unified party. But let's look, see if we have another Brown. No, okay. Yeah, I think we're going to go because I could use more manpower. Let's go with Fedor von Bach. Now here, I just want to check something out. Yeah, good. They have Reich now as National Socialist, and he was. Okay, Raider. The only other real choice to want to go to is Donuts, and he doesn't even look like he's here yet. Okay, well, and Goring. Yeah, Goring in my book is so much better for Germany, but okay, yeah. Okay, so that's a change in government. That should help our manpower some. So Prince of Terror down 5%, but he gets a bonus for, should be for 5% bonus for foreign SS units. So that's a wash there. I do that so much better because, yeah, mining down 10%. So those are the only two negatives that we have for manpower. Okay, what was that? Armor plate thickness increases to 4. Yeah, stop that. Don't know if that unlocks anything else. No, not particularly here. Special purpose, ammo storage, which I'm sort of ignoring at the moment. Oh. I guess our choice is really push something up there. Oh, goody. Just what I wanted. And you're there now. Yay. Can you get on board an airplane? Good. Okay. You guys, you're the longer range set, so you fly to Tehran. I think you can jump from Tehran up into there. And you guys fly to whatever this city is, Tarbiz. What I'm thinking of doing is that if, which currently I do believe, they're allied with us. Iran is an Axis member and a puppet of Germany, but they're not in the war, so nobody's attacking Iran right now. Like nobody's attacking Saudi Arabia, which is a good thing. But I can't, at least I don't think I should be able to, once we're at war with the Soviet Union, be able to cross the border there. Oh, I thought I was... Okay, well, I thought I'd sent you up here. Is you can't cross the border once we're at war with the Soviet Union. So what I'm thinking of doing is doing a parachute invasion here and get control of the territory and then cross the border. That's what I'm thinking of doing. Okay, you guys are down to here. You presumably... Oh, you're the flying boat. No, these guys. They haven't spotted anybody. They should come down to here then. Okay, logistical warfare. That's very useful. Yeah, stop that. Come over here. Oh, recon unit. Let's see. We just started both of those. Okay, that's probably one of the ones that paused just now. Yeah, we'll wait to get through those. I want to get through the rest before we go on to pushing those in advance. And these guys should head down there too. Yeah, we'll attach them to Fury, the U-boat. There it is. Just so I don't lose them. Industrial zone organization, good. Manpower down though, but yeah, good. Yeah, manpower down on that is just not nice. Okay, well. I just don't know how useful that is. We'll do it, but I'm just looking at priority. Yeah, I think we're at priority. Start pushing there. Okay, we're almost to April. Okay, infantry guns advance, very nice. Artillery carriage designs. This is Panzer HQ, Grenadier, we'll let that continue. And commander decision making, that would be under naval. Okay. Yeah, I think we would rather have artillery barrels and ammo stuff on. Okay, well, I think we're going to end this episode here. I want to thank you all so much for making it this far. I really do appreciate it. And I want to thank, while I'm at it, my Patreons, Steve, Toyjet, and of course, Yog Dog. Thank you guys so much for your support over on Patreon. But everybody else, you know, hey, hit that like button, post a comment, and of course, if you haven't already, but you're made it this far, you better subscribe. So see you next time for even more Hearts of Iron.